Audiobooks. This is something I really recommend. I personally struggled with reading growing up, and I was always envious of people who had the ability to grab a book and then the next week they're telling you about this amazing book that they're reading. And I'm too slow of a reader and I get bored, and I was the kid who wanted to go play in the mud and play sports, not sit in a classroom and read. So once I found audiobooks, I was like, this is gonna be my thing. And I figured if I can sit in the car with my daughters and be listening to some Trolls song or an Alicia Keys song and I'm singing along in a very short amount of time, I figured if I sit there and play the books over and over again, I should be able to do the same thing. I should be able to regurgitate this information. One of the hacks that has helped me, if you find you listening to a book and it's really boring, you can listen to instrumentals at the same time while listening to the audiobook. So if you're listening to it on your computer or on your phone, just get an app that allows you to play two audios at the same time. Put your instrumental music down at 50% and then listen to your audiobook at 100. This helps a lot. 33 Strategies of War, a really good book, really boring. Listen to it with motivational instrumentals from movies. You're just on the edge of your seat the whole time. Napoleon Bonaparte's, it's amazing. Anyway, this is going to be a long video, so I got to be quick. 5 books I really recommend that I've just enjoyed or they've helped me. Number 1, Be Like Water, My Friend, Sharon Lee. This is Bruce Lee's daughter. She writes a book about how his life and the things that she learned, and the thing that I took away from this book is the story of the educated man who approaches the Zen master in order to gain inner peace. And he says, sure, let's go sit down and have some tea and I can help you. The educated man on their way to go sit down is just telling him about his experiences and his education and everything he knows. And the Zen master starts to pour the cup of tea. And the cup of tea overflows from the cup off the table. And the educated man says, stop, it's full. And he says, and just like this cup, you are full. I can't teach you anything. So the takeaway is, everyone can teach you something. Everyone. This is very prevalent in jiu-jitsu and martial arts. If you think you know anything and you go there, you're just going to have a terrible time and you're not going to enjoy it. But if you can empty your cup and humble yourself and say, I don't need to always be the tough guy, then you can learn from everybody. The second book I really liked, Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. Really simple, but amazing principle. You have a problem with not going to the gym. So at nighttime I get tired, it's bedtime routine with the kids, I don't want to go to the gym. Pack your bag in the morning. Pack your bag, put it by the door, your bag is packed. Now when it comes to go, that takes one less step. So the whole book is about adding good habits to your life and getting rid of bad habits. Worth listening to, trust me. The third book I really recommend is Old Path, White Cloud. And it's more the author than the book. Thich Nhat Hanh, he used to be the Dalai Lama. Very inspirational book, Old Path, White Cloud. It's the story of the Buddha. I wanted to know who the Buddha was. I got onto Thich Nhat Hanh. Any of his books I recommend, any of them. He's got books on fear, he's got books on peace in every step, he's got books on the art of living. Old Path, White Cloud was the story of the Buddha. It's a beautiful book. Lots of wonderful teaching, like mic drops. The Buddha knew how to drop mics on people, I'm telling you. So, Old Path, White Cloud, really good book. The fourth book I liked was A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle, psychologist, he helped me map my mind. Understanding what the ego is and understanding, in his words, what the pain body is. I wasn't aware, like I would say, so-and-so's got a big ego, whatever. I didn't know what it meant. The ego is the thinking mind, right? And so it's a really good book to understanding yourself and progressing your way of thinking and gaining that peace from mind, which we're all looking for. And then the other thing he talks about is the pain body. The pain body, if you ever met somebody who has this seething ball of negativity just right here, and they're like waiting to get offended, they're waiting to get upset or call a manager, a Karen, if you will. That is the pain body. It's sitting right there. It's every collected pain and all the stuff they've ever been through just sitting right there, just waiting to pop off. And I was just like that. And I was like, oh no, I have that when I was listening to it in the book. But the good news is, the bigger your pain body is. When you become aware of it, it burns up into light of consciousness and it helps you become deeply present. Read the book, worth your time all day long. I've probably listened to it many times. I've bought copies to give to people because I want them to read it. I think it's helpful for anybody. And then last of all, Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. Now, Jordan Peterson as a person, there's a lot of things he says and does that I'm not in agreement with, but that's okay. Empty your cup. Don't allow your ego to block somebody who can teach you something. So out of his 12 rules, I'm going to quickly go through some of them that I think are useful, that I took away. I was like, yep, this is a good rule, but it's worth reading. Like, honestly, at the end of the book, I was sitting watering my grass and the book ended and I just started clapping. Like, it was a good book. I didn't like it in the beginning, but it was a really, really, really good book. So some of the rules I liked: treat yourself like someone you were responsible for helping. Huge. Treat yourself like somebody put your own mask on. We know how to do that in an airplane, like put your own mask on, then help others. But treat yourself like you're responsible for helping yourself, feeding yourself good, putting yourself to bed early. Care for yourself, you know. Befriend people who want what's best for you. If you guys watch that show Modern Family, there's the saying there, they say, be the wind at my back, not the spit in my face. And I love that because it's true. Invest in people who, when they see you, their face lights up. They fill you up when you see them. You feel good. You feel charged up when you see them. Stop investing in relationships when you leave the person. You need a vacation. You're like, bam, I was with so-and-so today. I got to go to Mexico now because I'm just so tense. Don't invest in those people. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Comparison is one of the greatest sources of suffering. As soon as you compare yourself to other people, you suffer. As soon as you compare people to people, you suffer. But when you compare yourself to yourself only, you don't. Because you're telling the truth. You're looking at you versus you. And that's the best way to look. Don't look at anybody else. Okay. Don't let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Come on. If my kids, I love my kids. The world doesn't love my kids. So if my kids are irritating me, I got to do something about that, right? Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expected. Huge, right? Think about that. And then tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Starts in here. Start telling the truth to yourself. Tell the truth about the things you're missing. Tell the truth about this. When you have an interaction with so-and-so and that person was terrible to you. Were they? Or were you kind of, tell the truth. And assume whoever you are listening to knows something you don't. Empty your cup. Let people teach you stuff. So anyway, that was just some of the things I took from Jordan Peterson's books and other books. I know this is a long video. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you. And yeah, this has been Audiobooks. Thanks, guys.